Welcome back. All right, 6 games in the NHL tonight. There were 3 early ones, 3 late ones. I also have the preview board ready for tomorrow. There are 10 games tomorrow in the NHL. One team that we talked about in the power rankings a bit was Boston. And so Boston in against Columbus tonight. And I've seen there was one Bruins fan I went back and forth on who thinks that I'm being too critical of Boston's recent play. I'm wondering if that opinion has changed after tonight. Boston has looked downright bad their last 3 games. So it's Swayman versus Martin, and honestly, for the last 5, they've clearly been slumping. They have 1 win out of in 5. We get a power play for the Bruins. Columbus doesn't let them set up. They kill that off. Columbus's penalty kill has been very good this season. Shots are 2 apiece at 5 minutes. The Bruins press at 6 minutes. Gaudreau's denied on a breakaway. Jackets press with 8.5 minutes left. Sillinger has a rush chance that deflects out. Laine fires one wide on a rush. And then Voronkov. It's a turnover. And it leaks through Swayman here. Chinakhov with the assist at 15:52. The Bruins look to answer. Spencer Martin holds on there. Poitras has a net feed that's blocked as they press. 1:03 left. Columbus gets a power play. So that rolls over into the second period. Columbus up 1-0. Laine has a one-timer that's held. The Bruins finish the kill. There are 2 shots in total, one before the end of the first and one at the start of the second. Jackets press at 2 minutes. The Bruins are guilty of turnovers, also because the forechecking very good by Columbus tonight. Gaudreau has a fast break, that saved, and then Provorov buries one short side. It's screened as well. Jiricek and Sillinger with the assists of 5:38. This is where Swayman gets taken out of the action and had a bit of an exchange with the coach. Probably didn't want to come out, but I don't think it was Swayman's fault. Certainly this result's not about the goaltending. Shots were 8-2 for Columbus, 7.5 minutes in. Coyle has a chance that's held. Very few rebounds by Martin tonight. So we get a power play for Columbus. Net feed to Jenner. Near miss there. That's killed off. Things get pushed on a hole by Martin. We get a power play for Boston. They cycle. It's cleared out. It's killed off. The Jackets rush after giving up no shots to Boston on that power play, and that's the end of their power plays for tonight. And then on a fast break, Chinakhov scores at 16:42 on a fast break. So there you go. It is suddenly 3-0 for the Columbus Blue Jackets. McAvoy has a shot that's held as the Bruins press, but it remains 3-0 after 2. Third period, shots are 2-0 Boston, 2.5 minutes in. Bruins press at 3.5 minutes, but we get a power play for Columbus, and then there's a delay game call 27 seconds later to make it a 5-on-3 for 1:33 seconds. That's way too much time. Columbus scores on the 5-on-3. It's Marchenko from Jenner and Laine at 4:51. Then there's a shorthanded break by Zacha. That's saved and held. The 5-on-4 gets killed off, but again, we're looking at a 4-0 score Columbus at this point. Poitras then buries one in close. McAvoy and Heinen with the assists at 8:24. Columbus would get a power play shortly after that. That was killed off. 1 shot for Columbus on that power play. And then at 13:41, Danforth adds another. He scores from Corrali and Jenner. And then late in the game at 17:40, Beecher scores from Shattenkirk and Frederick. So Boston tries the early goalie pull. It ends up with an empty netter. Your final score is 5-2. Columbus has won 3 out of 4. They're 7-12-4 on the season. Boston 14-4-3. And as I said, they've lost 4 of their last 5. Some trouble of brewing. So shots on net, 13-11 Columbus in the first, 19-9 Columbus in the second, 13-8 for Boston in the third. Final shots 40-33 for Columbus. Power plays Boston 0 for 2. Columbus 1 for 5. Hits 17-12 Columbus. They just outworked Boston. Swayman 17 saves on 19 shots. Ullmark saves 18 out of 20 in relief. And Spencer Martin saved 31 out of 33 at the other end. And that's the thing. For Boston to win games, they have to outwork the opposition. They need stellar goaltending, great defense. There's such a short, small margin for error. And lately, there's been a lot of error. So, there you go. All right, next up. Buffalo. Where did this come from, Buffalo? If the Sabres can do this again. So, it's Luukkonen versus Shesterkin. Skinner has a turnover chance. That's held. The Sabres press are kept to the outside. The shots are actually 4-1 for the Rangers, 4.5 minutes in. It didn't feel like that. Sabres press at 8 minutes. There's a power play for the Rangers. They cycle. The Sabres, they block. They clear. Near miss for Cooley. More cycling. It's killed off. There's a hand pass that takes away a goal for Wheeler. So Rangers not happy about that. And then they weren't happy about this either. At 11:39, Peterka gives Buffalo the lead. He scores from Olofsson and Power. The Sabres then look for another. They can tell that, the Rangers are a little bit off at this point. Benson's denied from the slot. It's cleared out. Panarin's then robbed on a rush. With 1:39 left, the Rangers get a power play. So that rolls over into the second period. The Sabres finish the kill. Panarin has a shot kicked aside. Olofsson had a blast. That was held. There's too many Rangers on the ice. The Sabres with a power play. Back-to-back clears by the Rangers. There's a late cycle by the Sabres. It's cleared out again. That's killed off. Sabres press at 8 minutes. Gustafsson's denied on a rush chance. The shots are 9-5 Buffalo with 8 minutes left. Luukkonen holds on to a Panarin chance. Luukkonen had a good game. Then the Rangers press with 6.5 minutes left. There was a shoulder save by Luukkonen on Gustafsson. Kakko hurt his leg along the boards. It crashed into the boards. It looked bad. Your knee's not supposed to turn that way. So that did not look good for Kakko. So the light comes on. The puck's on the outside of the net. I'm not sure what Lafreniere was celebrating for. You could tell the puck did not go into the net. It was on the outside of the net. So, yeah, that's not a goal. Peterka then has a net drive that's held, and then Alex Tuch makes it 2-0. He scores from Mittelstadt and Dahlin at 19:32. Buries a rebound at the net, and it's 2-0 after the second period. Third period, Lafreniere has a chance that's held. The Rangers not getting prime chances at this stage. Luukkonen robs VC. It's cleared out. Rangers press at 4.5 minutes. We get a power play for Buffalo. Skinner's denied. Rebounds cleared. Cousins was denied as well as it came to an end. Rangers then get a power play, and it takes 7 seconds to score because the Rangers' power play is lethal. It's Zibanejad who's heated up goal-scoring-wise lately from Gustafsson and Panarin at 8:08. But then at 15:29, Buffalo gets that lead back. Tuch from Mittelstadt and Power makes it 3-1. And then the goalie pull happens with 2:10 left, which allows the empty netter. It's Mittelstadt from Skinner at 18:29. And then in the closing seconds, Okposo scores again. He's now got, 4 on the year? Isn't this like a goal-scoring streak for him? Anyways, he scores from Jokiharju and Olofsson at 19:53. It was a great pass by Jokiharju and is buried by Okposo. So your final score is 5-1. Buffalo evens the record at 10-10-2. For the Rangers, 15-4-1 with the loss. And before anybody asks, I did not bump them down in the power rankings tonight. I just felt like, you know what? They haven't had a loss like this in a while. I'll leave this as it is for now, and we'll keep an eye on their next game. Shots on net, 12-9 Rangers in the first, 13-11 Buffalo in the second, 17-3 Buffalo in the third. And yeah, Buffalo, of course, moved up a bit tonight. Shots on net, 39-26 Buffalo. I think the most impressive part to me is them holding the Rangers to 3 shots at home in the third period when they were down 2 goals. That's fantastic. Power plays, Buffalo 0 for 2. The Rangers 1 for 3. The hits, 19-11 for the Rangers. Luukkonen saved 25 out of 26. Shesterkin saved 34 out of 38 at the other end. So, again, pretty solid game if you're a Sabres fan. Probably frustrating if you're a Rangers fan, but again, we'll see if it's a one-off. All right, next up, Florida and Ottawa. Well, this didn't turn out the way that people thought it would, did it? I mean, the end score maybe, but how we get here. So it's Bobrovsky versus Korpisalo. Early jump for the Panthers. The Panthers end up drawing a power play, and they score on it. It's Reinhart keeps up his red-hot play from Tkachuk and Barkov at 1:28. It was a good cycle, and he buries it from the slot, and this was telling us what was to come for the Sens. Shots are 2-1 in favor of Florida, 4.5 minutes in. Forsling's denied as the Panthers press. Lindell has a shot that's held. It's all Florida at this point. Stützle's bloodied. There's a 4-minute power play for the Ottawa Senators as a result. Near miss for Batherson. That power play ends up being killed off relatively easily. Just the one shot on net for Ottawa. That's a tough go of it. Matthew Tkachuk has a net drive that's defended. Verhaeghe's denied. The Panthers press with 4 minutes left. Things get pushy on a Bobrovsky hold. Joseph has a net drive that's blocked. After the first period, it's 1-0 Florida. Second period, power play for the Sens. That was killed off and did not offer any momentum to Ottawa. Florida gave Ottawa virtually no momentum through most of this game. Ekblad's denied. There's some pushing there. Panthers get a power play. Reinhart scores, but they challenge it for offside. It turns out that the player does not touch the puck until the other player had tagged up. So Reinhart's goal scores at 5:59. The fans disagreed, seeing it on screen. The announcers also said publicly they thought it was offside, and it's like, okay, so people in the comments are going to be mad. But I'm just telling you what the NHL said, that the player tagged up, so it was not an offside goal, meaning the Panthers go back to the power play, and they score on it again. It is Bennett from Barkov and Montour at 7:09. It's 3-0 Florida. Not only that, but at this point, the Sens had gone about 12 minutes without a shot. So it just gets worse for Ottawa, right? 5.5 minutes left. The shots were 9-2 in favor of the Panthers. So Ottawa gets a couple of shots. Nothing major there, though. Brady Tkachuk has a net drive. That was saved after 2 periods of play. It's 3-0. Third period, the Sens start with a full power play. That was killed off. Not much there. And again, it's about not giving Ottawa anything, not giving the fans any oxygen on this, and just keeping them out of the game. They did a good job of that. Shots are 4-2 for Florida, 4.5 minutes in. Things get punchy at 5:13. It's a 5-minute major for McEwen. 2 minutes of 4-on-4 follows. Then it's a Sens 4-on-3 power play. At 11:59, Verhaeghe would score. I'm pretty sure that's when all that schmozzle was done. He scores on a one-timer from the slot, and that's from Kulikov. So ref starts tossing players out after this. We get like everybody just coming together and hugging, and he's had enough of all the hugging and all the yelling. So he throws an entire line for both teams out. All 10 players that were on the ice were gone. What I liked with that too was Matthew Tkachuk in the box with the towel over his head, just leaning back like, "What's up?" And I thought he should still be there right now, just sitting in the box chilling. I'd be fine with that. But anyways, so this game's getting kind of ugly, and the referee's doing his best just to get everybody out. So benches have a lot of room with 7:22 left. In fact, Anthony Stolarz sits in the middle of the bench, kind of like, hey, backup goaltender. I'm sitting in the middle of the bench. Check it out. You could actually see, too, that Paul Maurice was counting the players on the bench. I think there was like 7 of them left. Like, there's not enough players, but it's on both benches. So Panthers come out of that with their 7th power play. We get more misconducts during the power play, and then the Sens finish the kill. And then on a turnover, Lou Serenen, one of the few remaining players in the game, scores at 16:32 because nobody else is left. But yeah, that makes it 5-0, which means a no mercy magnet. You also have the Tony the Tiger right here. Florida goes to 13-7-1 with the victory. They're in Toronto tomorrow night. Ottawa drops to 8-9. So Ottawa, any momentum they had coming back over from Stockholm, that's gone. So yeah, we'll see what happens from here. But Florida controlled this game. They outshoot them 11-6 in the first, 11-7 in the second, and 16-7 in the third. Final shots are 38-20 for the Florida Panthers. Power plays, Florida 4 for 7, Ottawa 0 for 6. So there's your difference maker right there. Hits 28-23 Ottawa. The penalty minutes 84-83 for Ottawa. So 167 penalty minutes. Those are 80s totals. Like, not just because they're both in the 80s, but those are totals you don't normally see for a game anymore. Especially for a game where there was, like one fight? Like an actual fight? I think there was like one. But anyways, he tosses everybody out. Bobrovsky saves all 20 shots for, I believe it's his 40th career shutout. So kudos to him for that. Korpisalo, rough night for him. Rough night for everybody who's a Sen. 33 saves on 38 shots. And now I need to change boards. All right, Tampa Bay in against the Colorado Avalanche. So the Avs treating this like it was a playoff game. And Georgiev, quite the night for him. So as Vasilevsky versus Georgiev, there's a near miss for Nichushkin and close. The Avs leading in shots 3-1, 3 minutes in. Hagel has a tip shot on a rush, that's saved. Point fires one wide on a rush. The Bolts press, Kucherov has a shot that's held, and then on a 2-on-1 rush, Johansson scores at 7-12. Johansson has been on a heater lately. Woods then denied on a net drive. We get a power play for the Tampa Bay Lightning. There was a shorthanded chance for Kiviranta, near miss there. They do kill that off. They allow 3 shots on that power play. Bolts go back to the power play. Cirelli's denied. The rebound's cleared. That's killed off as well. So after 1 period of play, it's 1-0 Colorado. Second period, on a rush, Johansson buries a rebound at 1:49. Tatar and Makar with the assists. They rhyme. It's great. That's fantastic. It's a shame Tatar's not a defenseman, so he couldn't be paired with Makar. But of course, the way Tatar plays hockey, probably better. It's not a defenseman. We get a power play for the Avs. Makar fires one wide. They cycle, and then Makar scores from Ranson and McKinnon at 3:35. So he fires that one from the point, and everybody who's been talking about, hey, who's going to win the Norris? It's probably going to be Cale Makar. So the Avs press at 6 minutes. The shots are 6-4. Colorado at 7.5 minutes. The Bolts score. It's challenged for offside, and it was pretty obvious it was offside on the first power play. I'm like, yeah, that's offside. The Avs go back to the power play. There's a near miss for Nichushkin. They cycle. It's killed off. The Bolts rush the other way after. Vasilevsky really sharp tonight as the Avs are looking for another. There's another power play for the Avs. It becomes 50 seconds of 5-on-3. The Avs call a timeout before the 5-on-3 starts. There was a post from McKinnon. It's cleared out. Whatever they discussed in that timeout doesn't work. Everything's killed off by Tampa Bay there. Mott with a near miss on a rush afterwards. The Bolts get a power play. Near miss for Stamkos. Kucherov's denied. That's killed off. In the final minute of the period, Cirelli makes things interesting. He scores from Hedman and Kucherov at 19:29. So it's 3-1 after 2 periods. Third period, the shots are 2-0 Avs at 4 minutes. The Avs did a good job of shutting things down early. Then we get a press by the Bolts. They're kept to the outside. Makar has a rush chance. That's defended. DeHaan has a shot that's blocked as the Bolts press. Olofsson with a rush chance. That's saved. We get a power play for the Avs. There's a shorthanded wraparound by Cirelli that's held. Kind of. Why kind of? Because the referee blew the whistle. Georgiev did not have the puck completely covered. The Bolts were not happy because they could have scored there, but they don't. They do kill off the penalty, however. Colton fires one wide. The Avs press with 6.5 minutes left. Koepke gets denied. The Avs rush. 4:24 left. The goalie pull happens, and it's 16:46. Nichushkin hits the empty net from McKinnon. Jeannot and Jack Johnson were unfriendly as well late in the game, so they get tossed out. But your final score is 4-1 for Colorado. They go to 15-6 with the win. Tampa Bay drops to 10-7-5 with the loss. The shots on net favor Tampa the whole way. 13-8 in the first and in the second, and then 14-8 in the third. Almost the exact same shot totals each period. You end up with shot totals of 40-24 Tampa Bay. The Bolts 0 for 3 on the power play. The Avs 1 for 5. Hits 15-12 for Colorado. Vasilevsky saves 20 out of 24. Georgiev 39 saves on 40 shots. So very good night for Georgiev and for the Avs. Next up, so Vegas is in trouble. This is the game where I'm saying, all right, now Vegas is definitely in trouble. And tomorrow night they're in Edmonton, so we'll see how things go in the second half of back-to-backs against an Edmonton team that just had 8 goals in their last game. So it's Hill versus Vladar. Amadio has a fast break. That's defended. We get a power play for Calgary. Early clear. They set up. They cycle. Lindholm has a chance that's blocked. The power play's killed off with no shots actually hitting the net for Calgary. Carrier and Greer were unfriendly because Carrier took the penalty initially. He ran over Vladar. So the rest of the game, the Flames let him know that's not cool. So the shots are 2-0 Vegas, 6 minutes in. The Flames press at 7.5 minutes. Dubé couldn't bury one in close. Get a power play for Vegas, early cycle. Carlson has a shot that's held. His next shot goes in the net. He scores the power play marker from Amadio and Hutton at 13:53, and then Vegas presses for another. We get a delay of game call. Vegas goes back to the power play. There's a shorthanded rush by Backlund. Vegas then sets up. They cycle. There's then a shorthanded chance for Coleman. That's saved. A post for Whitecloud as the power play comes to an end. The Flames press with 2.5 minutes left with 1:17 left. Vegas gets another power play. So that rolls over into the second period where Calgary finishes the power play and then they get their turn on the power play. Kadri with a near miss. They cycle. There was a shorthanded rush by Eichel. He's denied. That power play's killed off. The shots are 2 apiece at 5.5 minutes. The Flames press at 7 minutes. Stevenson clears to get a change because they really needed to change lines there. So the shots are 4-3 for the Flames with 9 minutes left. Post for Eichel from the slot, so he didn't have any luck tonight, and Vegas is not having puck luck right now. Vegas presses with 8 minutes left. Amadio has a screenshot that's saved. Lindholm's denied as the Flames press. Pospisil with a rush chance that's defended. Roy is robbed in close, and then the Flames rush, but after the second period, it's still 1-0 Vegas. Third period, early press by Calgary, and eventually Greer has one bounce over to him in the slot, and he buries it. Kadri and Zeri with the assists at 2.5 minutes, so that ties the game at 1. Flames press for the lead. Coleman's denied and close. Hill holds on there. There's a press by Vegas at 6 minutes. Teams exchange rush chances after that. Pad save on Huberdeau. The rebound's cleared. Barbashev is then robbed on a breakaway. So Vladar was busy, and Vladar was very good tonight. As a Vladar fan, I approve. Tanev takes a puck to the face, exits for repairs. That looked brutal. That's one of those ones where they should look at the replay and go, I don't know that we should broadcast this. Let's show them a kitten. And I'd be fine with that. Just a kitten playing with a ball of yarn instead. There you go. Carrier's then denied on a turnover chance. Stone has a shot that's held as Vegas presses, but with 54.2 seconds left, the Flames go to the power play. So that rolls over into overtime. The Flames cycle. Sharangovich is denied. The power play is killed off. The Flames press after. Vegas briefly had the puck, but Calgary controls it until Uyghur wires one on a rush at 4:55, so 5 seconds before the end of overtime. Wins it 2-1. The Flames go to 9-10-3 with the win. Vegas 14-5-3 with the overtime loss. Shots on net 11-8 Calgary in the first, 10-9 Vegas in the second, 9-8 Calgary in the third. They had all 5 shots in the overtime. So as I mentioned in the game against Arizona the other night for Vegas, the difference with Vegas right now is they're not getting that push in the third period, and in this case, they didn't get the push in the overtime either. Final shots 34-26 for Calgary. Power plays Vegas 1 for 3, Calgary 0 for 3. The hits 20-17 Calgary. Hill saved 32 out of 34. He was very good. Vladar 25 saves on 26 shots, one better. So yeah, I do agree with people who think that Vegas is in a little bit of trouble right now. It's just kind of surprising, but again, it's an 82-game schedule. All right, the last game of the night, Washington and San Jose, and I'll be dipped. This was actually an entertaining game in the end. So it's Kemper versus Blackwood. I just did not expect it to be entertaining, but San Jose's style of hockey right now, kind of fun to watch. So early jump for the Caps. They end up getting a power play. Carlson has a blast that's saved. Wilson's then denied in front. That's killed off. Dowd then took a puck to the chin. That looked like it hurt. Not as much as Tanev's puck to the face, though. I know. So there's a big Wilson hit, and whether it's dirty or it's clean depends on your point of view, meaning that the coach for the Sharks was saying that was a dirty hit. The coach for the Caps is saying clean hit. I don't know what he's complaining about. So the coach's opinions differ. We end up with a power play for the Sharks not long after. McDonald has a shot that saved. The rebound's cleared. The power play's killed off. Sharks with some pressure after it's done. Phillips is then denied. Blackwood holds, and then Zetterlund scores to open it for San Jose. He scores from a Hochik at 10:22. The Caps look to answer. The shots are 10-9 in favor of the Capitals with 8.5 minutes left. Things get pushy on a hold by Blackwood. Wilson has a screenshot that's held. It's 1-0 San Jose after 1. Second period. Post for Strome on a rush. We get a power play for the Caps. Early clear, and then again. There was a shorthanded Zetterlund rush chance. That's saved. It's killed off. The Sharks press after it's done. Their shots are 3-2 for San Jose 6 minutes in. Sharks press at 9 minutes, and if Blackwood sees it, he saves it. Pretty basic. Edmondson has a shot that deflects out. The Caps press with 4 minutes left, and they just kept up. It was relentless. That relentless pressure leads to a goal. It's Kuznetsov from Van Riemsdyk and Faravari. That's at 16:22. So I don't blame Blackwood on that. 2:08 left. The Caps get a power play. That's killed off. It's 1-1 after 2, and it's really, really clear to me now. We are 18 games into the season for the Caps. Ovi's slowed down. He really, really has. Third period, I thought, was very telling in this game. So LeBanc has a rush that's defended. Burrows flattens Wilson. Caps press at 4.5 minutes. The shots are only one apiece, 6.5 minutes in. We get a power play for the Sharks, early clear by the Caps. Sharks then set up. They cycle. It's cleared out again. That is killed off. Pressed by San Jose. They're kept to the outside with 8:41 left. Was it a high stick or a follow-through? Well, they say it was a high stick, so the Sharks get the power play. They're wrong. He did contact the puck on the play. Not by a lot. I understand the referee from his angle may have thought he missed the puck, but he did contact the puck, so it is a follow-through. So if you whiff on a shot and on the follow-through you smack somebody in the face, it's a penalty. If you touch the puck, it's not. I'm not sure I understand, but like, I get it, and at the same time, shouldn't hitting somebody in the face with the stick either be a penalty or not a penalty? Contacting the puck should not necessarily make a difference. But again, it's been a rule in the NHL forever. It's one that I always thought was weird. Like, okay, so he touched the puck, so it shouldn't be a penalty. So it shouldn't have been, but it was. The Caps don't let him set up early, but then late in the power play, they do score. So not only is it a power play that you can make the argument, if you're a Caps fan, probably shouldn't have been a penalty, but it ends up with a goal. Cunnin with the goal from Bailey and Emerson at 12:48. So Justin Bailey in his first game with San Jose, after signing with San Jose, gets a point. So, and it was a good forecheck by him that set it up. And again, I say this all the time, but when there's the penalty called, the option to kill off the penalty is there. So there's that 6 in one and a half dozen in the other of they need to kill that off. But at any rate, that makes it 2-1 San Jose. Zetterlund then has a shot that's held. There's an empty net miss by Duclair, so there's an icing with 1:09 left. They ice it again with 15.6 seconds left, but in the end, they hold on. They win this one 2-1. They go to 5-15-2. They're 5-1-1 in their last 7 home games, I do believe. The Capitals 10-6-2. This one hurts. So first they lose against Edmonton. This loss, I think, is probably a little more painful for Washington than the loss against Edmonton. And so troubling results for the Caps, who suddenly can't score again, which is indicative of Ovechkin slowing down. Ovi just doesn't feel like a threat right now. I've never said that before. It just, when he's winding up for a shot, I expect it to go wide. I expect it to be blocked. I think because he's not scoring goals, the respect he normally gets for that shot is not what it was. So anyways, we'll see how far it goes. So shots on net, 13-11 Washington in the first, 14-6 Washington in the second, 7-6 Washington in the third. Final shots, 34-23 for the Caps. Power plays, Washington 0 for 3. That power play continues to be just a wasteland. San Jose 1 for 3 on their power play. Hits 18-13 San Jose. Kemper saved 21 out of 23. Blackwood saved 33 out of 34. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always, regarding these games. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't yet, because my feelings get hurt, and I know if you haven't. Come on. But thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.